This is the BG's Talk Show.
Yes. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the BG's Talk Show. It's your host, Anwar BG here. Last week's episode was so exciting, and I know you don't even have to tell me. I know it was so exciting, and you had a blast. But trust me, this time I'm coming at you with an even more engaging and exciting episode. Joining us is none other than the incredible Aisha too. Joining us in the BG's Talk Show for the second time now. Aisha has been our guest for the first season in our talk show. Aisha, the author of six online novels, among which Basma Likes Fendi and also Aliyah to the World. So let's give a warm welcome to Aisha too again. Aisha, welcome aboard. Yes, we're delighted to have you again. Is it just me, Aisha, too, or is it weird that just yesterday was 2024 and now it's 2025? Can you believe it?
The year went so fast. Like
Yeah,
it was as if yesterday, 1st of January 2024,
like it was,
and then today
it's
was
crazy.
2025.
It's crazy, isn't it? Like while I stood there, a lot of people were watching TV. Like I think before it struck midnight yesterday, I was at the dining area and my family were in the main parlor. They were just watching the news. And in Sydney, Australia, it was New Year's Eve already. So they were celebrating. I was like, damn. So it's another year. It's gonna be another year again. It was just like yesterday. I could remember when it was 2023 before we were heading to 2024. I'm like, damn. So now it's 2025. So anyway, what have you been up to, Aisha, lately? What have you been doing?
Um, so I've been trying to structure some aspects of my business, and I've been trying to fix up this piece I started writing for December, but I guess now it's going to be my January piece. If I don't end up writing something else for January, so I'm hoping to write two stories for January and then submit. So I'll have for December and then one for January.
That's beautiful. So listen up, listeners. Aisha too has something great for us today to share. So I'm gonna swing the conversation over to her. Aisha too, what is the exciting thing you've got for us to share?
So I'm going to talk to you guys first about the book I read last year. It's a very interesting book.
Right?
Some I had questions about them, but then it doesn't matter. They're very enjoyable. It's very good. So I read about 15 or 20 books, but then I'll just tell you about five. So I read on Ajay Crowder's Street.
Mm.
Um, Me I Face You. Me I Face You was very, very funny. It's very witty. It gives you the exact representation of what it means to live in a Me I Face You compound. And it reminds me of those old Nollywood movies where it's just raw, spicy, dramatic, if you get what I mean. And I read The Mechanics of Yenegua at the beginning of the year,
Yeah?
yes, but then it ended up being very interesting as well. I think it's just one of those stories that starts out subtle and then there's this deep dive when you get to the middle and then to the very end it gets very interesting. And then I read My Tamalina. This is a book that I have been obsessed with the title. And then towards the end of the year, that was when I ended up getting to the book and I enjoyed it. And as you can guess from the title, very scandalous, very, it just comes with a lot of um, energy and spark to it. And it's just about the elite living in Abuja. That's where the book is based in
Okay.
Abuja.
Okay.
And all of
Yeah.
the key things going on space of living with the rich and the wealthy. So I think if you're one who enjoys books like that involve secrets and scandalous affairs, then that would be for you. Then I also read Sea Breeze. This was a very lovely book. I didn't know what to expect when I received it from the author. It took me months to read it actually because I had schoolwork, I was dealing with coursework, a lot of tests and all of that. So I actually didn't read it till I think November or December, but I enjoyed it very much. You can find my reviews on Substack for all of the books that I read last year, so you'll get to understand how I really enjoyed these books and if I had any reservations about them.
Wow, this
So
is
I
very
also
interesting.
yeah I read also Only Big Bomb Bomb Matters Tomorrow. Very Nigerians and having that thing where they don't expect you to have that kind of title for your book. But the
Yes,
book
yes,
is
yes.
actually, as the title is, like very like there's it's like the author didn't care about what people would think with the title and the content of the book. It was about this lady who was in her final year of university and then she decided that she just wanted to go and get a BBL. This is one book I think a lot of people, not, I wouldn't say most, but just like a few people had a few complaints about it. Why would you write a book mainly about something like that? But then when you actually read it, I think you will find that it's very interesting. The lady is actually pressured by her friends. Not that they came and said, okay, you have to do this, but then she saw her friends who did it, and then they're kind of like getting the male attention, money, and all of that. And then she felt, why didn't she get that? And it wasn't that she wasn't beautiful enough, she just felt like she needed to get that procedure done to have what her friends are having. And so, one question though I have for the author is, why didn't she tell us what happened? Because the
Right.
book ends in a way that it's like he left the readers to figure it out for themselves, to imagine what would come of the ending. So I do not necessarily dislike it, but I still do wonder, does that mean that there's going to be a second book, or she's just leaving this to our imagination? And then I guess we have
So
the time to
basically,
figure that out.
basic, basically, the book ended it's in some sort of cliffhanger or in some sort of on left information. Like he skipped a huge information that you lot are supposed to know, and basically he doesn't have it.
Yeah.
And okay, does the book has a guaranteed part two? Perhaps did the author announce that?
No, the author never announced that. But then I'm hoping that there is, because the start to the finish was like very, it had me at the edge of my seat really, and I couldn't get enough of it, and it wasn't a very long book. It's just one of those short books that you can read in like 30 minutes to an hour, but you're going to love it.
This is very, very, very exciting. What is the name of the book? Let me hand it over to the audience listening to us now.
Okay, the title of the book is Only Big Bomb Bomb Matters by Damilare Kuku.
Okay, I think you've posted it on your Instagram, am I right?
Yes, I did.
Right. That's one.
I
So
did.
there you've got it, guys. I think I'll put the link of it inside the description right now. You all should go check it out. Make sure to do that. So,
All right. Next I'll be talking about the key on some books that had me feeling all sorts of ways last year. So, going back to the book that I just spoke about, Only Big Bumble Matters Tomorrow. I have a love-hate relationship with the book only because of the ending, but then I really want to read more books like that. Books that are like very short, but then like you're so interested from beginning to the end. Because when you start the book, it starts when her father dies, and it's like a burial, and everybody's at home, everybody's like family is coming from everywhere to just help deal with the whole burial process with the main family. And it's during that family meeting she just opens up and she says she wants to go for that procedure, and then it's just so funny when you start reading the book and that is the first thing that you see. And there's this specific line in the book. I'm not sure I'm going to get it right, but then I think that's something like he said, oh, I've forgotten. But then it was so funny. He said she was tired of looking like a working board or something. Something
Yeah.
like that. I don't
Right.
remember. But then that was where the book started and the whole chaos and her savings. She had a little business, and then that was when she started to go and use all the money she had saved up to do that for herself. So the next book I'm
Sounds
going to
very,
talk
very
about,
exciting.
yeah, very exciting. The next book I'm going to talk about is Mayadam, the daughter of Iraq. So this book, it made me cry actually. I read it in secondary school. I think I was in JSC at the time when I read it. I would love to read it all over again just because of how deep and very emotional it is. So the book is about this um journalist who ends up in jail. He ends up being locked up, and their leader is very I think it was there was just some chaos going on at the time, and he just wasn't the best leader. So she ended up in prison for a few years, and the whole book is just about her process of living through that time and
Okay. Okay.
everything that. So it was also very interesting. I love the book very much. The next one I will talk about is the 40 Rules of Love by Elif Shafak. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right. So the, this book is, how should I put this? Um, it talks a lot about the Islamic jurisprudence, but it's
Okay.
not something I would say if one is going to read it, especially as a Muslim. I wouldn't say that you should pick up or like soak in the rules or Islamic laws you're going to come across in the book
Yeah.
because
Right. I understand. I understand.
yeah, they don't really follow the rules of Islam per se.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They talk about yeah. So there's just a lot to the book, but then it's very interesting. The love between both characters, very platonic. But then I don't think I've ever seen where in a book the characters like they're friends, but then they love themselves very much. And the whole process of meeting different people while traveling, and the writer wrote it in two different perspectives. So the book is really about based on the poet, the poet who practiced Sufism. I can't remember his name, but then it goes through his life and how he meets this other man who is
Yeah.
following in his practices, I think. And then the second part of the book is about this lady who decides she doesn't want to be with her husband anymore. I think she just turned 40, and then she ends up meeting this guy who is a huge follower of this poet, the poet that is like the main character in the story. And I really love that book as well. I think most of the books I read last year, between 2023, I loved all of them because I read things that I didn't read before, that came with themes that went so deep. I was usually reading surface based stuff like romance, things that didn't really call onto your emotion like that. And I really enjoyed those. So I think I'm going to be trying more of them. The next one will be, and the final one would be John Grisham's The Chamber. This is for
Okay.
those who love law books that have to do with criminal cases and the chaos that comes with it. So I don't really remember much from this book. I think I read it in 2014 during one of my summer holidays. Then the only thing I remember was the electrocution of this character at the beginning of the book. So he commits this crime and then he's forced to sit on this electric chair and like he was sentenced to life, not to death, and then he was electrocuted to death. And then that was where the story started. And I think it just takes us through the process of how he ended up there. One thing I really like about the story is that it has something similar to this other book I read called The Devil's Advocate. Um, the characters are not apologetic. This also makes me laugh because my brother tells me that anytime I'm interested in a character, especially the villains, it's always the odd ones I pick. And I don't really know why, but then I just like these sexy characters because it forces me to ask myself this question, like, why don't you care? Why are they actually accepting this judgment? Okay, they said they are going to be electrocuted or they're going to be sentenced to life in prison. And then the person just smiles in court and as if it's nothing to them. So it just makes me very curious about these characters.
That's truly wonderful and exciting as well. All of these books in a year, and the list even goes on and on. Well, Yusuf Muhammad Dabo reuniting with us. This is Aisha too, a great and massive reader, as you can see from the lot we've been discussing before you came in. She's read lots of books in the year 2024, which she will be telling us and also reviewing some of her books, some of the personal books that she's read at that same year. Aisha to Yusuf Muhammad Dabu.
It's nice to meet
Absolutely
you.
lovely to meet you, Aisha, too. I really enjoyed the talks, even though I came late. Some very interesting books I've heard about. Very, very interesting, and I look forward to our talks,
Yes, and also at the same time,
You wanted to say something?
No. I'm just adjusting my seat. Wasn't very comfortable.
I said also at the same time, we were talking about how how weird it felt like yesterday. Just yesterday was 2024. You know, man, like it's crazy, isn't it? Like,
Absolutely, man. It went by so fast.
yeah, crazy. Like, and now it's 2025. So I was talking to Aisha about it, like how if you could remember the other time back in 2023, man, like it was just 2023. We were excited about 2024. Now it's 2025. So all things moving too fast, aren't they?
This early December, I was talking to a friend, and he was telling me that he feels that the days were moving too fast. No, the days were
Yeah,
moving too slow. And I was like, brother, man, how are the days moving too slow for you? It's so fast, man.
too
You know,
fast, too fast. Man.
I recently read something, that went like, adulthood is just realizing that adulthood is just saying to yourself that after this week stuff, things will slow down till you die. It's a bit dark, but I kind of resonate with it.
Uh, I think you should find that post and send it to me. And also, let me tell you, Yusuf, Aisha is a book reviewer in Abuja, a content creator as well. And now we will be hearing some of the books she will review to us now. So let's have a listen. Aisha, please.
Absolutely right.
Okay, let me see. Which book could I read so many books as I said before and I enjoyed most of them.
Yes.
Um
Okay, right. Listen,
maybe
the ones that hold a special place in your heart. If we could get them, yeah, pick them out and then review and highlight what we need to hear about them.
okay, one book I would say is dear to me is Broken by Fatima Bala. Um she is somebody who we kind of connected after I reviewed her book Broken. Um, Majorly because I think she was also a Wattpad writer, but I never knew. And seeing as I am also a Wattpad writer, So there was just that thing there. And when we spoke about the book, I remember telling her that Broken is given Wattpad vibes. That was the first thing I said when I started reading the book. Though it goes, it changes direction. Most Wattpad books have this ending that is very basic. You just know what's going to happen. But with her book, there was this tumultuous relationship. Everything is just going back and forth. And I even told her, and I asked her, I told her, I don't know what in the, I think, I told her something about it messing with my mental health when I read the book because of the back and forth, how the main character ended up, there was some speculation that it was related to her love interest, and the guy had to dig up for 2 years. It was just like going around asking people who knew her parents and just to see that they weren't related in the way that wouldn't allow them to get married Islamically. So there was just so much to their relationship, and I love that the ending was very it was a happy ending. It was very normal. They ended up getting together, but
Right.
then he, I think he got married to somebody else. But the main point is that with other books, everyone is trying to get this sad ending despite the struggles they had. And for once, I just kind of felt at peace because they just got that happy ending. Everybody, they got married, the two characters. And though I wish there was more to the book, and I'm always hoping for a second book when I really enjoy the book. Um, there's also Hafsat Baby. I haven't read Hafsat Baby. I actually started, but you know when people talk about something repeatedly, you kind of pick up on things. You just know parts of the things that the book is about. So I also want to read this book very much, so I don't really have a review for this book, but then I mentioned it because this is one of the books I look forward to reading this year.
Oh, that's really wonderful. Really, really, really wonderful. And
Oh, it's absolutely very interesting. Yeah,
Do you think his network has issues?
with Sexter. Sorry for the terrible lighting. He talked to me not on in a very good time, so I didn't have time to prepare. He wants to be very.
Alright.
Yeah, I think his network has issues, man.
Alright, so while we wait for him, I guess you could tell me a little about yourself.
Oh, me and Nano go way back since I think junior secondary school. We've been very good friends, and we've always had an interest in literature. Me and him, we had a very active, I would say, cheerful teacher, and so we developed an interest for it. I guess he decided to do more. I'm now more of an IT person, but he's studying English and doing those podcasting thing, which I'm very happy for him. And once in a while we exchange books. He gives me recommendations and I give him too. And I just really enjoy talking. I guess this isn't the first podcast I would say that I've recorded with him. So I just really have fun with talking and enjoying conversations, I guess.
Yeah, I think I've seen the episode on Instagram where both of you spoke about something.
I
Finished the video, but I saw some.
I don't think it's been published yet. I think he just did the editing thing because that's kind of why we.
But I remember.
If you did, then it was a short clip, I guess.
Yeah, it's short clip.
You said you've been a reviewer. You are a reviewer.
Yeah, I am.
How long have you been doing that for?
2 years at most. Yeah, 2 years.
That's me. Is it like a full-time job for you?
It became last year, but then when
It became last year.
Yeah, so I used to do it like involuntarily, like it was a thing I would say was my hobby. I would read books and just like put it in my notes how I felt about the book, if I didn't like it or if I liked it. It was just very funny. I used to share it to my friends, and then they would be like, "It's very funny," and they're always laughing about it. So I tried to start posting it. And people, I
So
love
you
people.
started doing it professionally. I wonder how many books you must read like yearly to maintain your job, like to meet your job requirements, man. Must be insane.
I usually have like I usually have it because I'm somebody who tries to read like maybe 20 to 30 books
20 to 30 books,
like
man?
in a year.
Oh, in a year. Oh, that's decent. That's decent.
But Instagram for us readers, I think pressure isn't with the materialistic things we put online. Like what us the pressure on us is the number of books we read in a year. Because when I see on Instagram people stack books and then they're like, I read 100 books this year, I read 150. I'm like, I just read 30, and then that makes me feel really bad about the number of books I read during that year. Like last year, I think I only read 20, and it still bothers me, but like I try to remind myself that it's actually okay for me to read that amount of books. If that is what's okay for me, then that should be fine.
No, that's absolutely very impressive, actually. May I
Thank
ask
you.
how you find good authors, like to read? Because at times it's hard to find good books,
I think
and so you have to
being
go
honest,
through a lot of bad books to find a
Yeah,
good book, I
exactly,
guess.
bro.
I understand. For yeah, for me, because of the kind of content I consume on Instagram, I'm always seeing book recommendations.
Okay, your
Other
feed is
people's books.
already tailored to your tastes.
So everything that
Okay.
appears on my page is something that I would want to see. So I see people's book reviews, people's recommendations, what they didn't like, what they like. But then I'm somebody who also judges books by their title. So if I like a title, I will look for it and read it. And if
Absolutely.
sometimes I like the cover, it doesn't matter whether the title is good or bad.
This is an underrated thing. People underrate aesthetics, man. Like, if I don't like a book cover, if I see, I'm not reading it.
Exactly.
I don't know, back to you, man. You're a very interesting man. He just left again. Wow, man.
And also sometimes I get books from the authors. So I think that is my favorite thing that happens to me when sometimes
Okay, they are sort of in your circle, and so you just get books directly.
yes. I think for like 4 months straight, I was receiving books back to back, and it was like the happiest thing ever. Like when you're at school and like you can't read those books. But the thing is, I just kept stacking them in my room, and like whenever I come in, I look at them and I feel so happy because like once I'm done with like school, I can just go back to them. So I think
Can't wait to just
November to
dive in.
December I was so excited because I got to read all of the books that I had received.
So interesting.
Wait, guys, I have to
But
be, I
I
have to be sure of
finishing them.
something. Am I visible to you lot? Can you? Wait, yeah, just
Yeah, you're visible, but you keep going off, man. It's like somebody's chasing you or
all right,
something,
but I'm here now. Am I not?
We were just learning a little about each
Yeah,
other,
like I could hear all of you. I could hear all of you. Like that's an interesting conversation. I could see you getting along quickly, but I'm here now. Am I not?
Yeah, you
All
are,
right,
you are,
calm.
you are. I did text you though, if anything
Sorry,
goes wrong
like just
anyways.
a plumber just called my phone and it just glitched.
Yeah, I noticed that too. It doesn't work as well. Like when you're using the internet and you're making a phone
Yeah,
call. That's
exactly.
a very bad combination.
Exactly. That's why I try as much as possible to find another internet source. And where was I? I mean, where were we, Aisha too?
Okay,
Can I just say something before
Yeah, sure,
we
Chris.
go on ahead? Aisha, you were talking about a book that really caught my attention. Like when I came in, something about something about it was a book. I remember you said something about those friends that have love for each other and like the adventures and travels that happen. That just really caught me, and I didn't really get the title and explanation because the sound was breaking. Can you talk more about that? I don't know if you know the book I'm talking about.
I know. The 40 Rules of Love. That's
The 40 rules of law.
Love.
Oh, love. Okay.
So,
That sounded very
which,
interesting to me. It sounded like something I would read.
yes. And because of your question, I actually remembered the poet's name, which the book was based on. The Rumi. I don't know if that's how his name is pronounced, but it's
Really?
R-U-M.
Wow. You know what? I think I actually have the book, but I haven't read it because I have like a big list of unread books that I haven't read, man. Now I do remember. It sounded like something I would read. I know. This confirms it. It concurs.
It's almost like historical fiction blended with this modern era. So it's very interesting how everything is just intertwined. You would love it.
Yeah. Man, that would be something I check out. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you've read the whole thing, I reckon.
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
I completed
That's
the book
impressive.
in, I think, a day or two because of how much I liked it, despite how busy I was. So,
You know, I was about to ask you like to rate the book, but you said a day or two, so I need no further explanation.
yeah, it was quite
Good, that's good.
good book.
It's crazy, isn't it, Yusuf, like how she reads lots of books. Like, I wish like we were the one, bro. Like,
I'm telling you, man, you find a
Mhm.
good book, you can't put
See,
it
I
down.
also
It's true.
have a list of books right here, a lot of them, but you know, I still haven't read all of them. Like every time I, write down a list of books, I hardly finish all of them. But you know, ah,
Alright, so we were talking about reviewing some books earlier, but then I think I'm actually doing that. So what I will do for you guys now is give you books to look out for this
yeah,
2025, authors you should look out.
I like
that's
that
nice
very
for
much.
sure.
So I don't know if you've seen this program, but they've been talking about this new Chimamanda Adichie's book that's supposed to come out in 2025. But that's so Dream Count, that's the title of the book. So I don't really know much about the book, but then I like the cover. It reminds me of Half of the Yellow Sun, so I'm definitely going to read it because that's my favorite book. I just like anything like that. This book, this next one, is titled The One Girl. So I also don't remember much about the book. I think I just saw the synopsis somewhere.
About this, yeah, I don't remember much about the synopsis to be honest, but then I know I really liked the title and people like it on Instagram as well. So I'm very sure I would enjoy the book since it's in my TBR list.
I think the internet is a general thing,
It is
Like one time it's you that instead of maybe next time it's going to be me.
for sure because that's how it is. I just hope that
Yeah. So it's out of our control,
I
really.
just hope that it'll just go on smoothly, especially.
We can make it work, though. We can make it work.
I hope
Yeah.
so.
Oh, she
Yeah,
left. Internet is
she
bad,
might
man.
be coming back. But
Very interesting guest you got, man.
this is Aisha too. Like,
What's your
I think
Instagram?
I think it will
What's your
be in the
Instagram?
description somewhere here. But
Can you text me?
yeah. Sure, let me leave it in the chat right now. It's AY.
The chat thing.
Yeah, the chat thing. I think I've dropped it, right?
Yeah. Man, I'm sorry for the terrible lighting, man. I didn't prepare. You see, I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 light bulbs, yeah? 1, 2, 3 are all dead. One works. And, bro, if you told me earlier, I would have done something really.
Sorry, man. It's all my fault. I should have.
Because it's nighttime, the lighting isn't
I
so
should have
good.
told you sooner.
No, it's good. It's good. It's
I'm
good.
just worried about something. This
good.
this plumber that called me. I just hope that this recording would not end like the would not end like the last. I swear, because
Like, you can take a minute to call him. Yeah?
that's
You can take a minute to call here and be like, "I'll give me." You just take a minute, man. I'll call you in a bit, you know.
That's not
And
the
me and her
issue.
will
The
also
thing
prove
is,
it. Just don't
the
take
thing
long.
is, I see the recording is no longer going. Yours is at 99%. Mine's at just 4%. Okay. It's at 14. I'll calm. Yeah.
Man, mine's a 99, bro.
Yeah, I think we should wait for her because she obviously this is her session. Actually, she has something.
Oh wow.
She has something important to say. And her uploading hasn't finished yet, which is crazy because we can't live without her upload not finishing. Let me chat her up real quick.
Take a minute also. So I've got some time. Let me go with it.
This is gonna be a lot of editing, bro, because this is gonna be a lot of
Right.
editing for me because I have to skip all of this, like cut it.
You were saying?
Yeah, I'm saying that this is gonna be a lot of work for me because I have.
And the sound isn't too good as well, if I'm being honest.
What? What did
I said, and the sound isn't too good, to be honest.
Too good. Who?
The sound.
The sound is creep. Is what? Is it good or is it weird?
It's not too good.
My sound
Wow.
or your sound?
Wow.
Yeah. Welcome, guys.
My
Yeah.
network
So
was
welcome. As
The internet is a general thing. You know, I'm a master predictor.
for sure, bro. Earlier you said that next up is gonna be you, and then it was you.
Yeah, and it happened.
So
Yeah.
listen, if you can see, like all of our recording are at 14%,
Alright, so
14%. Yusuf's at 20. Yusuf's at 23. So Aisha, what we're gonna do now? I'm gonna cut all those places that we've got some sort of clash and internet problem. From here
Problems.
on, we're gonna continue from where you've stopped, which is you were talking about Fatima Bala. Sorry, books to look out for 2025, right?
yes. So
Okay,
the
yeah.
first I mentioned
So
was Dream Count by
wrap it
Chimamanda
up.
Adichie. I don't think I
Okay.
saw much about the story, but okay. But I look forward to reading it just because it's Chimamanda Adichie that wrote it. This second book, I've been seeing it on Instagram as well, though I don't really know much about it, maybe because not enough people have reviewed it. But it's titled We Were Girls Once by Iwanose or Dafen. I don't know if I said that name right. The third is The Brevity of Beautiful Things. I've been seeing the book for a while now, and there are so many good reviews about it. So this is one book I would say everyone should read. If an author like Lola Shanae, she wrote The Secret Lives of Baba Shagi's Wives. So she also said something good about this book. So I'm going to check the book out just because she said it's good. So the last one is She Who Knows. So this is by Nnedi Okorafor. I also don't know much about the book, but I like the cover, so I'm going to check it out. And there are also books that she has. I don't know if it's a she or he, but I know that the author has written really good books in the past. So I would read this new book just because.
Certainly, that's really wonderful. So, Yusuf, I guess there we have it, a list of books.
Yes.
We're all
So
going to
speaking
look
of
at them,
yes,
look for them, and check them out.
yes.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's some very interesting
For sure.
recommendations there.
So speaking of authors that you guys should check out, the first one is Ishak Yakubu. He wrote a poetry anthology in 2022.
Right.
And in 2023, he released another book titled Saronia. No, in 2024, early last year. And the book has had really good reviews. I have only read his poetry anthology titled Growing Pains, but I enjoyed that. So I'm looking forward to reading Saronia, inshallah, this year. There's also Amana Al-Gadi. I read his book last year titled Kura. This book was like very interesting. It's this practical, culturally immense book. It's like if you want to read a book that is not just about being Hausa, but like really being in tune with the culture and what it means to be Northern, and have that that book that talks about your roots. That is the book for you. Then I already mentioned Chimamanda Adichie, so I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, one last author. Her name is Latifa Edua, I think. Efua, yeah. So I haven't read her book, but then it comes highly recommended. So I will definitely check her out, and I hope you guys check her out as well. To end this, I would just say I have a reading challenge for you guys. So this year I decided to read 50 books in total. I'm not sure I will be able to do that, but then I hope I can. And I hope that you guys will join me as well. So the challenge
All right,
basically
wait.
is
Hold on.
to read as much
Hold
books as you
hold
can.
on,
But obviously I have
Aisha,
my
can you
own
hear
goal.
me?
You would have your own goal. But then I want us to do this thing where we keep track on Instagram. So if you reviewed it or you have something nice to say about it, you can just post something on your Instagram, like a write up, and have something about the book as the caption. And then you can use the hashtag. Let's see. We can use hashtag Shatu Reads 2025. I think it would be good and it would gain some traction and in the reading
This
community.
can you?
What do you
Wait,
think?
hold on.
That's totally fine, but $50, man, I might have to
Right, can you
compromise,
guys hear me?
But I'll
But
give it a
then if
shot,
you
though.
read like 20, that's also good.
They say reach for the stars, and if you fail, you land on the moon. So let's keep it at 50.
Yeah.
You know, you said something very interesting about a book. Kura. Do you hear me? I see you. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I was saying you said something very interesting about a book titled Kura and how it takes you back to your roots. I hope I have the right book, yeah?
Yeah, Kura. By Amana Al-Qaili.
Yeah, about being Hausa and all that. Yeah, just like that struck me. I was wondering like how I assume you've read the book. I was just wondering like how it was presented. If how was it like? Was it in a narrative sense? You know, I like books that take you through somebody's story. So I'm just like wondering how someone would sort of present that concept of teaching you about your own culture
It's
in a book form. Like how
it
did
was
that
in the
work?
narrative sense. So basically it was about this assassin who was trying to find his
Wow.
trying to find his roots. So he has a normal name. I think his name is Khalid or something. But then when he finds this scroll and he loses he's forced to, well, it was a mistake. He killed his wife by mistake, and there's this anger of trying to kill the man that caused all of that. So he will now go on this journey of anger and then this general resolve where he's like, okay, I need to be patient. And then he meets this man who helps him. And then it's after a few days, I think, or a few weeks, that he kind of learns how to like be an assassin from this man. The man was also an assassin before, and he kind of like passed everything on to this guy. And then this is when he now picks a name for himself, like his assassin name becomes Kura. And every assassin has like an animal companion and all of that. So there's just this, it's very interesting, and it talks about,
And his own companion is a Kura.
yes. So it talks about like places in Kano as well, not just Kano, historical places. I can't remember the names, but then it was so interesting. You get to read about like historical things that have happened, but then like he kind of infuses it into the story, and then there's just so much about the story that just has to be loved because of the main historical impact it has.
And I knew that was going to be absolutely amazing. Like the way it was presented, I knew it had to be something unique, man. Walking you through somebody's story. The moment you said assassin, you got me, man. The moment you said assassin, you got me.
Yeah. I think I didn't really expect that to come from the book. I just thought maybe he would just go on this journey, but then seeing that he ends up being an assassin and all of that, it was just too
Wait,
good.
hold on, guys. Guys, can you hear me, guys? Hello?
Like the network service providers are seeing us record this thing and they're angry at one news, so they're just trying to cause problems.
Yusuf,
Yeah.
can you hear me?
But then I'm so glad that like we've gotten to the end, because now we just have to like wait for the recording, I guess. And mine is just at 12%.
BG's Talk